Welcome back to Singapore Property Talk Law. I'm Damien, and with me today is Serene.
Hi, everyone.
Today we're diving deep into how to choose a floor in Singapore that,
Minimizes noise.
minimizes noise from that crazy road traffic.
In Singapore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how do you find that perfect HDB flat
Yeah.
when there's just so many cars and so much noise everywhere? I mean, it can be a major concern, right, for home buyers,
A huge concern.
especially if you're someone who values peace and quiet.
Absolutely.
I was actually reading this Reddit thread the other day,
Oh, yeah.
and someone was considering this fourth floor unit near an expressway,
Oh, no.
and they soon to be built MRT line.
Oh, wow.
They were worried about the noise.
Understandably.
Yeah, like how do you even
Yeah, how do you gauge that?
gauge that right?
Yeah.
It's not just about how high up you are.
It's true.
Another article I read said even on higher floors, people can hear things like sirens,
Oh, yeah.
revving engines, loud music,
For sure.
even car horns.
Yeah.
Also, it's not as simple as just going higher.
Right. And also, sound is not linear. So a 10 dB increase.
That dB.
Yeah. Decibels.
Uh,
Increase actually sounds twice as loud to us.
really?
Yeah. So that little hum of traffic can become a roar
Oh, wow.
if the decibels go up.
Okay, you lost me a little bit at decibels.
Oh, sorry.
Can you explain that a bit more?
Mhm.
What are decibels and why are they important when we're choosing a floor?
Yeah, so decibels are just units that measure the intensity of sound,
Okay.
like how loud a sound is, basically. And traffic noise, it's never constant, right?
Right.
It changes all the time depending on traffic volume.
Okay.
The types of vehicles.
Makes sense.
This one study from the Ohio Department of Transportation, they found that a single truck,
Just one truck.
yeah, just one at 55 mile an hour, is as loud as 28 cars at the same speed.
Wow. That's crazy.
I know, right?
I never thought of it that way.
Mm-hmm.
So what you're saying is if I'm looking at a flat near a road with lots of trucks, I should probably aim for a higher floor.
It's a good starting point, but sound is tricky.
Okay.
It travels differently in different environments.
Oh, right.
Remember that study I mentioned? They said hard surfaces, like concrete, they reflect sound more.
Okay.
So if there's lots of concrete around your building, the noise is going to bounce around more.
So it's going to get louder.
Exactly.
So does that mean a building surrounded by like trees and stuff
Yeah,
might be quieter, even if it's closer to the road?
exactly.
Yeah.
It's not just about the distance.
Yeah.
It's about the whole surrounding environment.
That's really interesting. So how do we apply all this when we're actually out there looking at flats?
That's the question, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's easy to get lost in all these technicalities,
Right.
but the best thing you can do is visit the flat at different times of the day.
Different times. Okay.
Don't just go on a quiet Sunday afternoon.
Right.
You want to visit during peak hours
Okay.
on a weekday.
To really experience
Yeah, experience the noise.
the real noise.
Yeah, the real deal.
It's like test driving a car before you buy it.
Exactly.
You need to know how it handles in real world conditions.
Exactly. You'll be surprised how much the noise level can change
Okay.
throughout the day.
So visit at different times. Pay attention to the surroundings.
Yes.
Now, what about the classic debate? Higher floor versus lower floor. Is there a clear winner when it comes to noise?
It's not that simple, unfortunately.
Okay.
There are pros and cons to each.
Okay.
Let's start with the ground floor.
Okay. Ground floor.
What are your thoughts?
Well, I've always heard ground floor units are the noisiest.
Yeah.
They're closest to the street, right? You've got pedestrians, people talking outside your window.
I'll bet.
So, yeah, I'd say probably the noisiest.
You're right. Those are valid concerns.
Yeah.
But we also need to think about each building's unique characteristics and its surroundings. Some ground floor units might have a buffer zone
Okay.
with landscaping or a fence
Right.
that can help reduce noise from the street.
Yeah, that makes sense. And ground floor units have their own advantages too, right? Like no need to wait for lifts,
For sure.
maybe even a private patio.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you prioritize peace and quiet above all else,
Yeah.
ground floor is probably not the best choice.
Probably no.
So what about those high floors then? Great views, fresh air,
Yeah.
but at what cost?
Higher floors definitely offer a sense of detachment
Right.
from all the bustle below.
Mm.
But remember that Reddit thread?
Yeah.
Even on the 39th floor,
Yeah.
you don't escape traffic noise completely.
Really?
Sound travels upward, especially if there's nothing to block it.
Wow.
And then there's the wind noise,
Oh, right.
which can be pretty intense.
Up
That's
there
really tough.
on higher floor.
So it's like you're trading one type of noise for another.
Kinda?
What about noise from above?
Oh, yeah.
Like from rooftop machinery on other buildings?
Yeah, rooftop machinery can be surprisingly loud, even on high floors.
Real.
And you're more exposed to other sounds,
Like what?
like helicopters,
Oh, wow.
or construction happening further away.
I see. It's a trade-off then.
Yeah.
You escape the street noise, but you might end up with other types of noise.
Yeah, it's a balancing act.
It seems like choosing the right floor is a real balancing act.
It really is. There's no magic number that guarantees silence in Singapore.
I guess not.
It's about understanding the nuances of noise in your specific location
Okay.
and considering your own priorities
Yeah.
and lifestyle.
Do you value peace and quiet above all else, or are you willing to compromise on noise for other benefits?
Like a better view.
Right, a better view or maybe a lower price.
Exactly.
Okay, so there's no easy answer when it comes to choosing the right floor for minimizing noise.
Not really.
But what I'm hearing is knowledge is power.
Absolutely.
The more we understand about how noise works
Yeah.
and how it's affected by different factors,
Mm.
the better decisions we can make.
The better equipped you'll be. Yeah.
Exactly. And I think one of the biggest takeaways is that even if you do end up in a slightly noisier unit than you expected,
There are things you can do to mitigate the sound.
definitely, there are lots of noise mitigation strategies.
Right.
Like that UK article we read,
Yeah.
it talked about soundproof windows.
Soundproof windows. Those sound amazing.
They can be really effective.
Especially if you're facing a busy road.
Yeah, but they can be pricey.
Right.
There are cheaper options too,
Oh, okay. Like what?
like white noise machines,
Oh, yeah.
placing furniture strategically to absorb sound,
Okay.
and even just being mindful about when you open your windows.
Right. So it's about being proactive
Yeah,
and taking control of your sound environment,
exactly.
even after you've chosen your flat.
Don't let noise dictate your life. You can create a more peaceful space.
This has been really eye-opening.
Yeah, it's a fascinating topic.
Decibels to Reddit threads.
I know.
It feels like we've only just scratched the surface of this complex topic.
But hopefully our listeners are feeling a bit more empowered to make informed decisions about their future homes.
Absolutely. Before we wrap up this part,
Okay.
what's the one key takeaway you want listeners to remember?
I think the biggest takeaway is that choosing the right floor in Singapore, it's not just about the noise level. It's about understanding your priorities, considering the unique characteristics of each location,
Yeah.
and being proactive in creating a sound environment that works for you.
That's a great takeaway. And
Yeah.
on that note,
Yeah.
let's take a short break, and then we'll come back to unpack some specific floor choices.
Sounds good.
Weigh their pros and cons.
I'm looking forward to it.
All right, we'll be back soon. Okay, so mid-level floors.
Yeah,
They seem to be a bit of a mystery.
a bit. Yeah.
Are they the sweet spot for noise reduction?
Potentially.
Or are we just setting ourselves up for disappointment?
Mid-level floors can definitely offer a good balance.
Okay.
You're far enough from the street level noise,
Right.
but not so high up that you're dealing with wind.
Or rooftop machinery.
Exactly.
So it's like the Goldilocks zone. Not too high, not too low.
just right.
Just right.
But again, there's no one-size-fits-all answer.
Right.
I remember reading this Reddit thread where someone on a mid-level floor
Okay.
found that noise from the main road was actually amplified.
Amplified.
Yeah, because it bounced off a nearby building
Oh, no.
and shot upwards.
So even on a mid-level floor, you could still get a lot of noise.
It's possible.
It seems like there are so many microclimates of sound,
There are.
depending on the buildings around,
Yeah, the layout of the street.
the street layout, everything.
Where it's all connected.
Yeah. So again, visiting at different times,
Yes.
paying attention to the surroundings,
Exactly.
talking to residents if you can,
If you can, yeah, that's always a good idea.
to get their perspective on the noise.
Yeah, firsthand experience is so valuable.
Like that Reddit user who suggested visiting during peak hours on a
Yeah.
weekday.
to really get a sense of what it's like.
Yeah, no point in being fooled by a quiet Sunday afternoon.
Exactly. Weekday evenings will give you a much better idea
Like what you're in for.
of what you're actually signing up for. You might even find
Yeah.
that a slightly lower floor in a quieter area is more peaceful
Okay.
than a higher floor in a busy district.
So it's not just about the floor number.
No.
It's about the whole context.
Yeah, the whole package.
The location, the surroundings, the time of day.
It all matters.
Sounds like a lot to consider.
It is, but don't worry.
Yeah.
We've covered a lot today,
Yeah.
and hopefully you're starting to understand all these different factors.
Definitely. And I think one of the biggest takeaways is even if you end up in a slightly noisier unit than you hoped,
Yeah,
there are things you can do about it.
absolutely.
You can mitigate the sound,
Yeah, there are ways to manage it.
like those soundproof windows.
Yeah, those can be really effective.
Expensive but effective.
Yeah, but there are other options too,
Okay, like what?
like white noise machines,
Right.
strategic furniture placement
Mm-hmm.
to absorb sound, and even just being mindful of when you open your windows.
Right.
If you're near a busy road, maybe keep them closed during peak hours.
So it's about being proactive and taking control
Yeah, I mean,
of your sound environment,
don't let noise ruin your life.
even after you've already chosen the flat,
Exactly. There are always things you can do
to make it more peaceful.
to create a more peaceful space for yourself.
This has been so eye-opening.
I know, it's a really interesting topic.
Yeah, decibels to Reddit threads.
It's all connected.
We've learned so much.
We have.
I feel like we've only just scratched the surface, though.
It's true. There's always more to learn.
But hopefully our listeners are feeling a bit more empowered now
Yeah.
to make good decisions
Informed decisions.
about their future homes.
That's the goal.
Absolutely. So before we wrap up,
Okay.
what's one key takeaway you want our listeners to remember?
The key takeaway, I think, is that choosing the right floor in Singapore,
Yeah.
it's not just about the noise level itself.
Right.
It's about understanding your own priorities, considering the specific characteristics of each location,
Okay.
and being proactive in creating a sound environment that really works for you.
That's a great point. It's not just about finding a quiet place.
No.
It's about making it quiet.
Exactly. You have the power to shape your own environment.
This has been such a great discussion.
Yes.
So much valuable information
Mhm.
for anyone looking to buy a flat in Singapore.
I hope so.
And for those listening, remember to check out the show notes
Yeah.
for links to all the sources we mentioned today.
All the articles and Reddit threads.
Everything.
We'll link it all.
So you can delve deeper into this topic.
And if you have any questions of your own,
Yes.
don't hesitate to reach out to us on social media.
We love hearing from you.
We do.
And we're always looking for new
I think
topics
challenges.
to explore in future episodes.
So keep sending us your questions.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So until next time,
Yeah.
happy flat hunting, everyone.
Happy hunt.
And remember,
Yeah.
knowledge is power
Absolutely.
when it comes to finding your dream home in Singapore.
Couldn't agree more.
All right, so we've talked a lot about noise and choosing the right floor.
We have.
But what about those ground floor units?
Ground floor.
Yeah.
They often get a bad rap.
Yeah, they do. People think they're noisy,
Right.
not very private.
Maybe unsafe even.
Yeah, but are they really that bad?
That's what we're going to find out.
That's what we're going to explore in our next deep dive.
I'm curious to see what we uncover.
Me too.
So, for everyone listening,
Yeah.
join us next time as we flip the script
Okay.
and take a closer look at ground floor living in Singapore.
Busting those myths.
Exactly. We'll be busting those myths.
Highlighting the benefit.
Yeah, and helping you decide
If ground floor living,
might actually be
the perfect fit,
for you.
it might surprise you.
It might. Until then, happy flat hunting, everyone.
Happy hunting.
And remember,
Yeah,
knowledge is power.
absolutely.
When it comes to finding your dream home in Singapore, see you next time.